Hey family, Eve here. So family, this video I'm about to do or create is a video showing you Judah's history here in America. Just history. I'm finna break down some things about his history here. Like I told you, during the 400-year slavery or captivity period, Judah was the tribe of Israel that was scattered to the Americas. So before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So family, here we go. Some think of Jesus as the Alpha and the Omega, that being the beginning and the end, the first and the last. However, Jesus never spoke Greek. He only spoke ancient Hebrew. What Jesus actually said was he is the Aleph and the Tav. And the Aleph is the first and the beginning, and the Tav being the end and the last. Tav also means 400. The Aleph tab appears in the Old Testament 7 times. In the Hebrew, it is the third word in Genesis 1:1. Once Esau lost his birthright, the Aleph and tab were never used again next to his name. This is how we understand it's important. It proves a covenant relationship to the Most High. It also represents the Mashiach, which is Jesus. The tab is the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Tab also means 400. It is also a mark and a sign. So in Genesis 15:13, God said, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. This is how we know for a fact that the 400 years happen in the last days at the end. See, this is the end. This is the end of this time, of this world. So, like I told you, tab also means 400 and the end. So, that's what I'm showing you right there. This is how we know and for a fact that the 400 years happen in the last days at the end. It is literally impossible for it to be otherwise. Anyone that claims different would be rewriting Hebrew. They would need to change the meaning of Aleph and Tav. African American or black people, the only people on earth and in the history to spend 400 years, which is Genesis 15 and 13, which that's what it speaks in Genesis 15 and 13, and it happened in Deuteronomy 28 and 68. See, so Genesis 15 and 13 is the covenant that God made with Abraham, and Deuteronomy 28 and 68 is the terms that it took place or how it was played out. The Bible identifies its people. The curses prove who Israel is, who our history. Those curses prove that the tribe of Judah is the true Jew. It also proves, well, like I said, it proves who the true Jew is. Not DNA, not family traditions, but by the curses, we know who the true Jews are. Everyone labels us as slave. It's a mark or a sign upon us. And if you read the Bible, you would know that slavery is a sign that we are the true Jews or the true children of Israel. Since African Americans are the only people that spent 400 years in captivity from 1619 to 2019 under a single people or a single nation, let's test the other parts of Deuteronomy 28. So Deuteronomy 28 and 48 says, let's see what it says. It says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Deuteronomy 28 and 48, everyone knows that the yoke of iron upon our necks, again, no other people has centuries of matching images and records proving who this happened to. The yokes of iron was only placed around the necks of the children of Israel. Deuteronomy 28:68 says, and I read that one all the time. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by way thereof. I spoke unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So everyone knows of Deuteronomy 28 and 68. and the forced scattering by ships around the entire earth. Again, no other people match or have documented evidence in nearly every country on earth. Nobody, no other people have served and been scattered and been forced to have a yoke around their neck but the children of Israel, or the true Jew. Deuteronomy 28:49-50 says, let me show you what it says. It says, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Now you remember America, their bird, their symbol, the eagle is a symbol, is their symbol for this country. And it says it's a nation with fierce countenance, a nation against thee from the far end of earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor unto the young. A fierce countenance is a nation that's just gonna just like bring us down with force, like they're gonna do it with force. In 1619, the ship of Negroes landed in Old Point, Virginia, then marched into Jamestown. At the time, that part of Virginia was known for its large eagle population. There go the eagle right there. They were known for their eagle population. The people that were about to be enslaved would not understand English. We wouldn't understand English because that was their language. It wasn't our language. Our language was ancient Hebrew. We didn't know their language. That's why God said a nation with a language we wouldn't understand, because we only knew Hebrew. We didn't know English. And it said a nation of fierce countenance. Everyone thinks this means it would be a world power that enslaved Israel. But keep in mind, this is a 400-year-long captivity. So the fierce countenance would be the slavery itself, the bondage, being in captivity to these people. Now, Old Point Comfort would always serve as a military stronghold and would eventually become Fort Monroe. Fort Monroe became the headquarters for the Continental Army Command, which was called CONARC, CONARC, which commanded all army units in the continental USA. Exactly, a nation of strong military power. The U.S. is also first absolute power. That means the U.S. can project military force in all theaters of battle, pretty much anywhere in the world. Yep, this information matches Deuteronomy 28, 49, and 50. Another important curse upon Israel was Zechariah 11 and 5, which it says, whose possessors shall slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. What they saying is, we're responsible for our own captivity or our own slavery, so they can do whatever they want to do to us, and it's okay because the Lord allowed us to go in captivity. And we did it, and we went into captivity because we sinned against our God. We were disobedient. So they pretty much saying, hey, we don't care, because guess what? You did it to yourselves. This plays out daily in America. The so-called black people, this absolutely does not happen to any other people. Now, the trend included this curse to blame the black people for their own enslavement. Like I said, they said we brought it on ourselves. So any other group of people claimed to be Israel must prove they match the curses in the Bible of Deuteronomy 28. Now, those people, like I was talking about, the people over the east that claims they're the Jews. It says the curses are not anti-Semitic because your Torah declares it. The world know the captivity of the true Israelites, or the so-called African Americans, was 400 years. We bear the mark of the 400 year. We bear the curse defined in the Bible. The Bible identifies its people. Else prove another. Like prove that it's somebody else. Who else could it be? Nobody else did. No, this didn't happen to no other group of people or no other nation but the children of Israel. This can't be disproven without rewriting Hebrew history. Scattered, forced into slavery into all nations. Deuteronomy 28 and 24 says, let me show you what that one says. It says, the Lord shall make the rain of thy powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. See, and Leviticus 26 and 33 says, and I will scatter you among the heathen, and I will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities a waste. Psalms 106 and 27 says, to overthrow their seed also among the nations, and to scatter them in the lands. Ezekiel 12 and 15 says, and they shall know that I am the Lord when I shall scatter them among the nations and disperse them in the countries. The so-called Jews or the Jewish people literally, they say this is the thing. Jewish people have never been scattered into the Americas. They were never persecuted in America. They would disqualify all self-proclaimed Jewish people from being Israelites. I'm going to read to you John 8 and 33 where it says, they answered him, we be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How sayest thou ye shall be made free? See, Christ was telling them who he set free is free indeed. Meaning if we take hold of him, that we can be free. And he was speaking of free from sin. He was talking about the children of Israel. Because we all know Christ, when Christ came and dwelt in the earth, it was to save the children of Israel. It was to redeem us back to his Father. So he was talking to us. And see how they said they be Abraham's seed, but they ain't never been in bondage to nobody. So that they telling you right there, self-proclaimed, they have never been enslaved or in bondage. While they over there claiming to be the true Jew, they have never been in bondage to anyone. They say they Abraham's seed. They ain't never been in bondage to nobody. They Abraham's seed, but they're not Jacob's seed. They're not the children of Israel. So they ain't never been in bondage to nobody. Cut off or discontinued from the Israelite heritage. Zechariah 10:9. He says, I will sow them among the people, and they shall remember me in far countries, and they shall live with their children and turn again. Jeremiah 17:4 and 5 says, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in me, which shall burn forever. Lamentations 5 and 2 says, for our inheritance is turned to strangers, and our houses to aliens. Jeremiah 16:13 says, therefore will I cast ye out of this land into the land that ye know not, neither ye nor your fathers, and there ye shall serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you favor. The Jewish people claim to have never lost their heritage, and claim to be able to trace themselves back to ancient Israel. This self-admission disqualifies them from being Israelites, the seed of Jacob, or the seed of Israel. The ancient Jews or the ancient Judeans said that the blood of Jesus would be on them and their children. This is Matthew 24 and 20 through 25. And let me show you what that says. What he talks about. He talks about how Jesus' only own people are the ones that crucified him through the Romans. Matthew 27:24 and 25 says, when Pilate saw that he could prevail nothing, but that rather a tumult was made, he took water and washed his hand before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this just person. See ye to it. 25 says, then answered all the people and said, his blood be on us and our children. See, so that right there, our curse, that was a part of our curse. That was a part of us, of God bringing us down, because our own people, Christ's own people, are the ones that saw to it he was crucified. The evil ones. So the so-called African Americans are the only people in over 4,000 years to match this exactly. Our blood was on our own hands. Deuteronomy 28:68 is the fulfillment of the transatlantic slave trade, in which instances was the fulfillment of no man shall buy you. The term no man shall buy you is an English term, an English Quaker term, which means no man shall redeem you, which was what happened in ancient Israel when someone was in bondage. An Israelite, for example, a fellow Israelite would be able to go back and redeem him or her from that bondage by paying money. But when God cast us into slavery, that wasn't possible, because it said he wasn't going to allow it to be possible, that our people couldn't even redeem each other. We was going to serve rigorously. We was going to do that for 100 years, and it was going to be hard. So Leviticus 25, 48 and 49 says, after that he sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him. 49 say that either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is nigh of kin unto him, or of his family may redeem him, or if he be able, he may redeem himself. So family, I was just trying to show you the history of the Jews, the tribe of Judah here in America, showing you that all these nations have claimed, well, the Jewish or the Israelis have claimed to be the true Jews or the true Israelites, saying that they are the true Jew. And from what I just read you, the history of Judah, the tribe of Judah, who's the seed of Israel, the fourth son of Israel, proves from the curses that he is the true Jew. So family, with that being said, I had to show you guys that. I just want you guys to see the history of the Jew. And it's not the Jewish and it's not the Israeli. It's the Jew and the Israelite. Tribe of Judah. So family, with that being said, I thank you for visiting my video, and I'll see you on the next one.